Hi everyone, welcome back. My name's Anna and today I'm going to be doing an unhaul video. This is probably gonna get quite messy because I should have probably thought about where the hell I'm gonna put all the books after I show you. I guess let's just figure it out as we go. I went back home for a couple days before the semester started and I had one of my best friends help me sort through the boxes of books that I had at my mom's house. I hadn't gone through them in quite a while, so this is gonna be fun. My goal was to get rid of a couple of books. I've had these boxes since I was about 13. I think that's when I started collecting these books. There's really not that many. I quickly switched over to ebooks just because it was a lot more affordable and easier to carry around. But I do have a little collection of, maybe not little, over 100 probably physical books. A lot of them are also here with me, but the majority were back at home at my mom's. And so I went through them with my friend and I was planning to get rid of like maybe 10, books that I either would never reread, have never read but don't see myself reading, or just have no emotional attachment to. I enjoyed them. They were fine books. Can I tell you exactly what happened? No. Will I probably ever read it? No. Would I recommend it to anyone? Probably not. Let's go through them and see what we got. I'm just gonna start piling them up and then we'll discuss. Also, if my sister is seeing this, she can go through them later, but the lines can get a bit blurry between which books are mine and which books are my sister's and which ones we share custody of. So I made sure to only go through the ones that I was 99.9% sure were mine. If I'm wrong, I apologize, Colleen. We'll talk about it later. I also know there were a couple in there that maybe I wanted to get rid of, but I just didn't know if maybe my sister wanted to read them or a friend would want to read them at some point. There was also quite a lot of middle grade books in there that, although I don't see myself ever rereading, or I didn't even finish the series. Like I have I think a 9 or 10 book series in there and I've only read about half of them when I was 12. Don't think I'll ever finish reading it, but I don't know, maybe a niece or nephew in the future, maybe my little sister would like to read them at some point. So I don't know, I feel like I just couldn't let go of those. These are ones that I know they won't be missed, if that makes sense. Editing me in here to apologize for the sweaty mess that I was in this video and the fact that I kept getting closer and closer and closer to the camera. I'm so sorry. I did think about refilming it, but the day is too hot. I need to go to class soon, so this is just how it's gonna be. Just a warning in advance. I'm sorry, I promise it'll be better next time. All right, so this is the first box that I managed to bring with me. Let's just go through them and see what we've got. The ones that are in really good condition, I'm thinking there's like a Facebook group around my area where you can sell them for, affordable prices, like a secondhand used online bookstore. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that with the ones that are in decent quality. The ones that are not looking so great, they've seen better days. Some of them are over a decade old, were on shelves where they were exposed to a lot of light. I think at some point, a lot of them got water damage. So those will be donated if possible. And yeah, I don't know what else to do with them. If you have any ideas, let me know. First, we have The Stars Are Fire. God, okay, I'm sorry if like a dead spider flies off of these, or they've been in storage for a long time, guys. I remember reading this. I remember buying this. Can I tell you absolutely anything about it? No. I also love that there is no blurb. So we're getting rid of that. I mean, it's in great state, maybe a little bit dusty, but apart from that, it's a nice cover. I read this maybe like 8 years ago. Never gonna read it again. Night of the Radishes. This is when I was in a big historical fiction phase in high school. When I was around 16 or 17 years old, I went through a really big historical fiction phase. I Cannot tell you what this is about. Also doesn't have a blurb. It says, now in Night of the Radishes, she weaves the most compelling tale yet about family secrets, about the stresses in long-term marriages, and about one woman who has to travel far from home before she can learn who she really is. That tells me absolutely nothing. I'm getting flashbacks. Was there like two sisters and one of them got very badly injured in their childhood? I think they were twins. One of them died and the other one saw her die, and then lots of trauma, and it keeps going on through her marriage. Why was I reading this at 16? I don't know. Catch me if you can. I read this at some point. This poor book, it has definitely seen better days. Maybe you can just like gift it, right? It can just be included in a box of like, if someone wants to buy 2 of my books, I'm like, get one for free. I don't really remember what this was about. A heist, right? A true story of a real fake. I remember the movie has Leonardo DiCaprio in it and Tom Hanks. So, yep. Okay, moving on. Another historical fiction I was obsessed with back in the days, 1,000 Acres by Jane Smiley. I cannot tell you what this is about. I think this spans across multiple generations of this one American family and their struggles in life. I will not read it again. Jodi Picoult, 19 Minutes. That's so not how you pronounce her name. Jodi Picoult. Oh, why did I add an I at the end? Jodi Picoult? Is that how you pronounce her name? I don't honestly know if I ever read this one. Oh, maybe I did. Could not tell you anything about it though. Oh, this was a disappointment, guys. Salt to the Sea by, I'm not gonna pronounce her name. It's right there. I got like halfway through this book, maybe a bit more, and I had to DNF it. I just could not finish it. I was not getting enthralled by it. It kept switching between characters a lot from what I remember, and I just did not feel emotionally attached to any of them. This is another historical fiction from World War II. It sounded good when I was deep in my historical fiction days. I remember buying this, and then it got severely damaged, if you can see here and here, by my cat. Those are cat teeth marks. I think the writing just didn't hit for me, and it felt like young adult writing trying to cover not young adult themes, if that makes sense. We have The Raven by Sylvain Reynard. Sure. This is vampires, isn't it? Maybe? Yes. The New York Times best-selling author of The Book of Life, Deborah Harkness, says, The Raven is a fabulous gothic treat of a book filled with ancient vampires, dark vendettas, and star-crossed love. I don't remember anything about this book. Girl falls in love with a vampire. Oh, girl turns into a vampire. And there's a mystery. We're getting rid of it. This is The Sheen of the Silk by Anne Perry. Another historical fiction. I remember buying it primarily for the cover. For some reason, I really liked that cover when I was in my, is this getting in the way? When I was in my historical fiction era. I don't know if I read this. This is set in, 1273. 1273. This kind of sounds good. I never went to pick it up. Does that make sense? I've had this book for at least 8 years and never once have wanted to pick it up. But it doesn't sound bad. If you have read it, let me know. Should I keep this one? Should I give it a go? Should I maybe do a vlog where I try and get through like ones that I'm not 100% sure if I want to get rid of? And should this one be one of those? Let me know down below. We have Tales from the End of Time by Michael Moorcock. No idea how to pronounce his last name. This is just a collection of short stories, I believe. This one might be one of the ones that I might give a try. I do enjoy short stories sometimes. So we'll see. I'm gonna put these in a separate pile just so that I don't forget. And let's go ahead and move on to the next box. Oh, see, this is where I thought it was gonna start getting a bit complicated. If you could see the tripod that I have you on, I basically have you on a pile of books. I also need to apologize if the audio hasn't been great in the past few videos. I am filming on my phone. I do hope to change that soon. I did order a microphone, so there's a microphone on the way and that will hopefully fix the audio. Next on the list is a tripod. I really don't want you to fall. And eventually, hopefully, an actual camera. It's hot in here. If you have ever been or live in a tropical country, the humidity, holy shit. All right, let's continue. Have Sense and Sensibility. The only reason why I'm getting rid of this copy is because I forgot I had this copy, and therefore I bought a copy of this book a couple months ago, and I have been wanting to finish it. I'm like halfway through. It's my first Jane Austen novel, and I've just never really delved into the classics, and I've been wanting to. I don't like it when they have book covers, so I'm gonna keep the other version, which is, oh, it's right here actually. See, this one's nicer, and I lied, I'm not halfway through, I'm about a third through. But this one's just so much nicer. I don't need 2 copies of the same book. The Evil of the Day by Thomas Sterling. I mean, part of me doesn't want to get rid of it simply because I feel like this is such a cute cover. It's such a cute book. Like it looks like a classic. Does that make sense? It's worn, it feels well loved, looks like it's been read. It smells like an old bookstore. I have no idea what this book is about. Maybe I'll look it up. I'll look up if that book is even worth reading. I mean, it's a little book. I could read this in a sitting if it's good. I'll look it up if it's worth it. We have The Pearl, another classic by John Steinbeck. Steinbeck? I have no idea how to pronounce that. I have read The Pearl. I think I read it last year. It was okay. Will I ever read it again? No. So I'm getting rid of it. Next we have The Fur Person by May Sarton. I did read this. This was a very weird little book. I got this for about $1, if not less. And you follow this cat, this little fur person, throughout his life. The reason why I picked up this book, first of all, it was like $1, half a dollar. If you've ever loved a cat, you'll lose your heart to the fur person. And I was like, I've loved a cat. And the cover, okay, that cat is the cat that my boyfriend's family had for a really long time. Her name is Candy, and I loved her so much, and I swear that looks exactly like her, and that is why I picked this book up. Not gonna lie, it was a bit of a disappointment. So I'm getting rid of it, sadly, but oh, I wish I could. Should I keep it just for the cover, guys? Just because that is literally a picture of Candy. This is why I needed my friend there with me to get rid of it. But it's so cute. I might keep it just for the cat. Another random little book I bought at a book sale maybe like 6-7 years ago. Never picked it up. Sins of the Brother by Mike Stewart. Murder mystery, maybe? His brother gets murdered, so he decides to go and find out who did it, who done it. I'm never gonna read it. Pictures of Hollywood. This is a middle grade book, I believe. I remember liking it. We'll never reread it. Don't remember enough about it to want to keep it. We have our first and only, I think, nonfiction I'm gonna get rid of. Quiet, The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking by Susan Cain. I have not heard anything about this book. It's just not a nonfiction that calls my attention anymore, so goodbye. Maybe someone else will want to read it. I feel like I can't get rid of this book, and if my friend who gave me this book years ago is watching this video, I apologize. I love you. I kept the little notes that you've written inside it. They're safe. If you want it, let me know and I'll keep it for you. We both read this back in 5th or 6th grade, so it's young adult. I could not tell you anything about it except that maybe there's some sort of time travel. It's the first one in a series, I'm pretty sure, and we were never able to continue it because this is an ARC. This is an advanced reader's copy. We had a teacher who would bring books from the States. She would somehow manage to get a bunch of ARCs, and so she would let us read them. Oh, there's another sticky note. I'll know you actually read this if you sign this right here and leave it here. Wahahaha. She's still my best friend, guys. I'm keeping this, you know, I feel like I can't. I did read it. I promise you I read it. You know I read it. I'm gonna keep this sticking out. It was on page 159. I have proof on video. I'm gonna keep this sticking out forever and ever. If you want the book, let me know. But I am never gonna reread it. I'm just not really into young adult, and not this kind of young adult, I think, anymore. So someone else, maybe a teenager, can find it and love it, you know? Okay, this is a book that I think I have to throw away. Beach Boy. This has seen serious water damage. I don't even know. I can't even donate this. I think this is gonna have to go in the recycling. Some parts of it might not even be legible. This is so sad. I should have taken better care of my books. Okay, I'm sorry, you're going in the recycling. Guys, this one hurts to get rid of. A Northern Light by Jennifer Donnelly. I reread this book so many times. It's a historical fiction murder mystery set in 1906. Let me see, okay, let me just try to remember. We follow this girl named Maddie. She's working at a hotel during the summer, I think, to try and make some money. She comes from a family that's not very well off. And while she's working there, she cleans around the hotel, helps with like little things here and there. One of the guests, this young woman who's engaged or married, and she's there with her fiance or husband. Yeah, sure, let's go with that. Her body is found dead in the lake. And our main character, Maddie, discovers a pack of letters that the guest, the girl that's found dead, left behind. Through the letters, she's able to discover the mystery. And this was the first murder mystery I remember not only reading, but loving, absolutely loving, to the point where, see, this is one of those books that I'm gonna have to donate or sell for like $1 because I bookmarked the hell out of it. I guess my favorite parts, they're all just bookmarked. I'm gonna have to go through that and, you know, undo it. You can tell I was young adult when like the writing was this big, the print. So yeah, I'm sorry, I just don't think I'll reread her, but you know, she was well loved. Maybe someone else will love it as well, as much as I did. All right, next we have The Painted Boy by Charles DeLint. I don't know if that's how I pronounce it. This was another one of those books that I clearly remember loving. I'm pretty sure it was also part of a series that I never got to finish. I, however, cannot tell you anything about this book. It was winner of the World Fantasy Award. I can't speak English or Spanish today. Winner of the World Fantasy Award. And I remember really liking this book, but once again, young adult will probably never reread it. It says, James Lee should be in Chicago, finishing high school and working at his family's restaurant. Instead, as a born member of the Yellow Dragon clan, he is on a quest even he does not understand. Jay's journey takes him to Santo El Vado Viejo, an Arizonan desert town overrun by gangs, haunted by members of other animal clans, and perfumed by delicious food. The whole town moving to beat the Malo Malo. The Malo Malo? Really? A barrio rock band whose female lead guitarist captures Jay's heart. Here he must face a series of dangerous, otherworldly, and very human challenges, not just to survive, but to prove his worth to the clan. This is Charles DeLint at his best. Yeah, I'm never gonna read this again. Malo Malo? Really? Finally, we have this little trilogy. The Rootless Trilogy by Chris Howard? Howard? Sure. If any of you guys ever read these, let me know. They were pretty popular young adult books back in the day. Sucks because I have the first one in hardcover and the other two as paperbacks. But I remember absolutely loving the first one. I never got around to reading the other two. I bought them. By the time I bought them, I think I was starting to outgrow the young adult dystopian sci-fi world. So I was like, oh, I'll come back to them. I'll read them at some point. And 8 years have passed and I have not read them. So I think it's time to move on and acknowledge that I just need to give up. I failed my younger self, and that's okay sometimes. I remember loving this one. We follow this young man in this post-apocalyptic dystopian desert world, and he builds these beautiful trees out of metal and scraps for rich people to have in their yards because real trees no longer exist, or so we think. I think that was the plot twist of this, is that at somewhere trees still exist and they're trying to bring them back. His mother, who was dead, may or may not be dead. Someone had a tree trunk stomach. Oh wow, I'm getting weird flashbacks. I think at some point, part of the plot and the evil villain of the story are these people who are experimenting with blending humans and trees. These people who are like, who are half human, half tree? Am I remembering that right? Did I just make, was that a weird dream I had? I'll never find out, and you know what? I'm okay with that. They're gonna go to better homes, hopefully. I'm gonna do a vlog trying these two before I decide to fully get rid of them. I also have a couple other books here that I haven't gone through, so if I decide to add any more to the blog, I'll let you know. And yeah, I guess that's that on that. I apologize if things have moved around. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna split these up, but if you did make it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day wherever you are, and I'll see you in my next video.